I'm building in Windenburg in one of the really small lots on the island that has all of the woods surrounding it. It's a beautiful lot and it is just big enough to fit this tiny cabin, which ends up being, I think, like one bedroom with a double bed, and then I have two little areas upstairs that have single beds in it. I kind of imagine this to be a place where people stay at to go skiing or something because of how it's like laid out a little bit. But I didn't really have an image when I was building this. I was kind of just placing boxes around, which I think has been really helpful in kind of like refinding my style that I miss. It's reminding me of this octagonal witch's house that I had made back in like, I want to say August. And I was just like, every time I could see that build, I wish that I could build something like it again. And this kind of reminded me of that. And so it just uses a lot of different brown wood textures, mostly from Horse Ranch. That one is from Werewolves that I just placed down, but the other ones are all from Horse Ranch. And I knew I really wanted to use the new windows from the new pack, which are all the windows in For Rent are incredible. And I use at least like a few different versions of some of the windows. I'm using the new roof tile too on this, even though it's like it's kind of dusty with snow, which I do not know how I got that to look like that because all my other winter builds so far has hidden the texture of the roof completely. And I can't tell if it's because the snow is starting to melt or what, but this is how I wish all of my snowy builds looked. And I'm just now realizing that I can see the roof texture really well. And I don't think it's just that roof that's doing it. And I believe I'm using the new like roof trim that has like this really beautiful detailing over there. It's just like we got so many good key items that I'm going to be using all the time. Like these windows are my favorite in the pack. I'm going to be using this in every single build. It goes really well with the Oasis kit door, which I don't remember if I put in this build, but I've definitely just finished building a house that uses the Oasis kit door with these windows. I'm trying to like zoom in with my eyes to see if that door is from the Oasis kit. But I guess we'll see mostly when I'm in the interior because you'll be able to tell a lot better. And I just added those little tiny fence pieces to add some detailing to the roof of the porch, which the porch really doesn't have anything on it, I don't think, but it leads right over to the dining room, and I'm using these like shuttered windows from For Rent as well, and it looks really nice in the interior with the table and all the shutters around. I didn't think it would because at first I was like, this isn't going to bring in any natural light. It feels kind of like useless for me, and maybe I should use a different window, but I'm glad I stuck with it because it ends up looking really nice. And for the landscaping, I kept it pretty simple. I don't think I really raised any landscaping with a terrain tool. I'm kind of just placing rocks around to create definition, and I'm layering different greenery around, which is really hard to pick out greenery when it's like a snowy build because everything looks so different. But that bush is one of my new favorite bushes from the pack. I think that one looks really great in the snow. And it's a bush that I also used in my Christmas village. So this I built before the Christmas village, which is why I knew that I wanted to use that specific bush in it. And just like I'm trying to see exactly specific bush pieces. I think I have some ferns around. I used only evergreen trees because I didn't want any like barren trees for this build. I wanted it to have just like a little bit of frost on the leaves, and I think it looks really nice. And I'm adding slime to the walls because I think it adds a little bit more detail, a little bit more color, and breaks up some of the like plain wooden walls. And I added a spider web around and just like I'm using a bunch of different rocks for the landscaping on this one. Normally I use just like giant rocks and I sized them down to create a border, but this time I'm kind of picking little tiny pebbles out and I lined the front with the horse ranch rocks and I have the little like piles of pebbles scattered around too. And my one of my favorite chimneys is that round chimney, so I added that to the tower section of this, which I always forget to decorate the towers in my builds. And I had to add a ladder that went up there like last second. And that's where the third bedroom is. And it's like the bedrooms are so tiny, there really isn't much in it besides a bed and like a dresser, I think, which is why I kind of imagine this to be sort of just like a place that people stay rather than live in. And I really like these gold accent roof pieces from Get Together. I think it really like brought everything together. I had to do a couple of redos of the pieces and I put these little accent pieces on the ends of them. This one gave me a lot of trouble back there, but I edited out a lot of it, but it would not like it had a weird shadow on it which sometimes happens and I could not fix it no matter what I was doing, and then I guess I finally got it to work somehow. And I add little brambles around. This one has tiny red leaves on it that you can't really see unless you zoom in. But that's also how I like to add texture for my wooden cabiny builds because it's just like I don't know. it feels like it's adding something to it as well as these wisteria pieces that are just branches and they don't have any of the plants on it because they're dead. Those are like the two things I really like to add to the wooden build. I guess it's because they're kind of just sticks, so it makes it feel more natural and more like it's made up of organic materials instead of just like a wall paint that you get in The Sims where it's flat. So I pretty much just do that all around the builds in every single part where I feel like it needs something. Oh yeah, I use some, I guess, the snowy escape walls too. I just noticed that when I zoomed in a little bit more. Those stairs are also unpainted. I don't know if I changed that or not, so the build comes with unpainted stairs. Unless I fix it, because when I was taking the pictures, oh, there it is. I did paint the stairs. When I was taking pictures, though, part of the foundation got messed up. So I don't remember if I changed that or fixed that before I quit out of the game, but who knows? I often forget. But yeah, see, I use this wisteria like all over the place. I also have a witchy cabin that I think I'm posting a week after this one, and I do the same exact thing. So you'll see this twice if you watch both of them. I just outline the walls with them everywhere. And so now finally we're inside of the build. It's a pretty tiny interior. Right at the front is just going to be a place where you sit down. There's some like place to put your shoes. There is a ski hanger thing that has coats on it. And then well now I'm up no, where am I? I'm still on the second floor. The first floor. Oh yeah, I had to extend the house out a little bit because I realized that the house wasn't really big enough for a double bed, and so I changed some things around. Yeah, that's where the I don't fix the foundation is because I extended the house a little bit. I also changed the windows in the bathroom. This light, you could see I'm like zooming in a bunch on it. I was so impressed when I found that light in the new pack. It is so pretty, and I'm gonna use that so often. I already know. And so I was super hyped about it. And I was like zooming in. I was like, I gotta get a picture of this. And then I just used different wall sconces, I think that were from Growing Together, which was another one of my favorites. I remember when I first had seen those wall lights, I was amazed. And so I paired them together and they look really nice together. The one light that I don't usually use is the one in the kitchen. I don't know what that's from, but I was, like, going for a lot of metallics, I guess, because those 2 lights were metal, and so that one was also metal, and mostly the interior is just, like, warm browns, and then it has some of the gold and brass around. I had to like section off the kitchen a little bit more because I needed a place to put the fridge. And this is a cute little dining room that I think I was talking about before. I love that dining room table. I like each of the chairs that I picked out for it, and I love the windows that are like all around. And this cream couch from, I actually don't know what that's from. I don't think that's, is that from the basement treasures kit? I think so. Yeah, I love the cream couch with the messy blankets thrown over it and more brown wooden furniture everywhere. I switch out the coffee table to be like a little smaller because the space is pretty tiny and I didn't want it to take up the entire floor in here. That lamp on the desk is also from Ferrent. It is such a simple lamp, and I feel like we should have had this lamp in the game from the start, but I love that lamp now. I was so impressed when I had seen that too. But yeah, I'm using mostly just browns, warm tones. Like that rug is kind of orangey, creams, stuff like that. And I'm using the Oasis kit door. That one looks so good with those new windows. They like match together so well. And I really like them. I'm now even realizing that the shuttered windows in the dining room have the stained glass type pieces at the top. I didn't really notice that before. But yeah, that's really cute. I just add greenery around different areas in here. There wasn't really much I could do with this space, and so I added some herbs on the walls because it felt right. I guess I put some more in the kitchen. It is a very tiny space, and I was just trying to like find things that fit well in it without being super bulky. And this little like entryway was a bit of a challenge because I just had like, it was originally going to be a closed off closet, that piece that was poking out. I just changed it to just have some shoes over there because I didn't want to create any more really tiny closed off spaces down here. And the bedroom, it's very simple. I believe that I keep that bedspread the same, but I don't know, I feel like I changed it. And this only has one bathroom in this build, and I kind of changed some of the windows around because I couldn't find a place for the sink and toilet. And I didn't want the toilet to be right up against the window because I felt like that was weird. So I changed it out, and these windows are uneven. They are different lengths, but I just had to look past it and accept it and know that a lot of people are not going to be looking at the back of the house long enough for it to matter. That's how I convinced myself it was okay to put those two windows next to each other. And yeah, this sink is also from the new pack. I don't think it's my favorite. I do think it is really good, and I think I just used it because it was new. My current favorite sink is still the Horse Ranch sink. It's just like so rustic and so perfect in all of my builds, but that one is pretty nice too. Some weird editing because my camera I kept hitting the 9 key to raise stuff up, and I had my camera like a camera saved to 9, and so my camera kept flying me across the map of Windenburg. So some weird editing that I had to do. Okay, well, I talked over one of my favorite parts of this bedroom, and it's this cozy little corner that has just like what I think is the perfect amount of clutter in this little corner, with a place to drink coffee and a little clock that makes things feel really charming. I struggled with picking out um the rug as always. I liked the first option that I had, and when I was editing it, I was like, why did I change the rug? I think the original rug looked the best. Just got to move on from it. And up here is just a bunch of bookcases to fill up some space. And I ended up making a very tiny bedroom off to the side up here as well. Just because I figured we didn't need another like seating area, and I only had one bedroom so far. And I figured I could squeeze in like a very tiny bedroom. I had to move the windows here too which was extremely disappointing because I liked how the windows were like lined up on the exterior already, and I had to change all of it because it was like on a half grid. Yeah, right here. I had to move them. And I had to accept the fact that the windows were no longer next to each other, but it looks okay. If I had done that originally, it wouldn't have been a problem, but I was very upset that I had to change the windows because I already really liked how it looked and I thought it was gonna make it look strange. But that's just me overthinking it. It's completely fine and it looks reasonable. I like the little spaces up here. I do move some stuff because I add a fireplace because I realized I didn't have a fireplace in this build. I wanted the chimney smoke to be like moving around in the videos I take of the build, and that seemed like the only place that I could put one where it wasn't weird because for some reason I thought it was too weird to put the fireplace where you go up a ladder. I don't know why I thought that was a strange choice. So I put it in just the upstairs bedroom and moved some stuff around. Surprisingly functional still. That was the first thing I play tested when I put the sim into this house, was to make sure that I could light the fireplace, and it magically worked. I was extremely surprised. And then this little bedroom up here, just a dresser. I love that Jungle Adventure stool. I've been putting it in all of the bedrooms. And here are the screenshots. So it was a pretty quick build. It's very small. You could see all the little areas around. A lot of new items have been used. Yeah, I don't know. I kind of ran out of things to say, but it's the end of the video, so it really doesn't matter. But yeah, thank you so much for watching. I am planning on posting 6 speed builds this month. It's a new goal of mine for the new year, is to post 6 builds a month. And so this is build number 2. Yeah, build number 2. No, build number 1. Anyway, thank you for watching my first speed build of the year, not the second. So yeah, bye.